said he fell asleep on the phone with you. I don't know where your fiance was at for you to be able to fall asleep on the phone with another married man because he's not divorced yet. And then demand that he check in with you.
People always talk about those moments when a life collapses in a single night, when the person you trusted completely is exposed as someone else entirely. A betrayal that doesn't just hurt, but erases the past and poisons every memory, every smile, every promise you believed. It forces you to question who you loved and whether they ever existed. But this isn't that kind of story. This is darker. Because what's unfolding around Claressa Shields right now isn't gossip. It's a controlled implosion of the life she thought was solid. And the man at the center of it, he didn't simply stray. He didn't merely deceive. He allegedly engineered a second existence, so precise, so ruthless, it makes other celebrity scandals feel laughably small. We're talking hidden households, drained finances, and deception layered so deep that even her inner circle never sensed it. And the cruelest twist, the public isn't just watching, it's entertained. Because while Claressa was planning forever, Papoose was allegedly constructing another future, one with a different woman, a secret child, and a maze of lies so tight that exposing it could destroy her, or worse, transform her into something far more dangerous than before. Ever. And the fallout is only just beginning now tonight alone.
Battle rap, everything is open for battle rap.
Is there
Gangsta gossip?
Is there a rap battle podcast? Y'all ain't never hear that?
I don't know.
We saw her rise beside Papoose in full view of the world. Saw her stand up for him. Saw her put her trust in him. The trips away, the midnight conversations, the way she spoke about tomorrow like it was already guaranteed. But here's what people forget about guarantees. They fracture. And when they do, what's exposed underneath is never gentle. Because while Claressa believed she had found her equal, believed she was building something honest, Papoose was allegedly maintaining a second life so bold it borders on unbelievable. If it weren't so heartless. Christmas mornings with Remy Ma. Birthday celebrations with Remy Ma. Shared holidays, secret getaways, intimate moments Claressa was never supposed to know existed. And then comes the deepest cut yet. Remy Ma is reportedly pregnant, and the child is allegedly his. Not a slip-up, not a one-time lapse. A whole family, quietly forming in the background, while Claressa stayed in the dark, unknowingly financing the very reality that was slowly pushing her out of it.
So now we know Remy and Papoose as black love couples. We've been knowing that for years. Pap held Remy down while she served 6 years in prison.
And we have to talk about the money, because this goes way beyond emotional damage. This is about control. About alleged exploitation. Insiders claim Claressa's finances weren't simply combined, they were quietly rerouted. Expenses covered, vacations bankrolled, an entire lifestyle sustained, all while she believed she was pouring into a shared tomorrow. But numbers tell stories people can't. The surfaced paperwork, the money paths, the low-voiced accounts from those who watched the funds shift behind closed doors. Together, it sketches the image of someone who wasn't just unfaithful. He was allegedly siphoning pieces of her existence, turning her faith into open access and her devotion into leverage. And the most devastating part, she never saw it coming. Not until information began leaking. Not until messages went public. Not until Remy Ma reportedly chose to lift the veil herself and force the world to confront the version of Papoose Claressa never knew was standing right beside her.
Things got messy and still getting messy. More on the Remy, Pap, and Claressa trio. We reported on it yesterday, but things started to escalate. Accusations being thrown from both sides, and it's definitely messy on both sides.
But this is where the situation spirals into chaos, because this isn't only about one man living two separate lives. It's about how the truth exploded, and who is standing nearby, ready to pour salt straight into the wound. Enter 50 Cent, someone who's never resisted a scandal begging for attention. He didn't stay quiet. He reacted. He joked. He reduced Claressa's loyalty to a meme, her pain to ridicule, her betrayal to a warning shot aimed at anyone naive enough to believe too deeply. What else did she expect? That was the tone he carried. Like the outcome was obvious. Like Papoose's wandering ways were industry folklore. Like everyone knew except Claressa. And maybe that's not entirely fair. Maybe the red flags were always there, hidden behind luxury, public affection, and perfectly timed posts designed to sell a fairy tale. But love clouds judgment, even for the strongest minds. And Claressa wasn't just emotionally invested. She was fully committed, with no safety net and no exit plan.
I don't give a... I be bored responding, needing something to do. I done worked.
And then the proof hit: messages, screenshots, undeniable receipts that turned quiet rumors into full-volume outrage. Remy Ma didn't simply confirm the affair. She showcased it, writing that Papoose had fallen asleep on the phone with Claressa like it was funny. Like Clarissa's devastation was just another storyline for public consumption. But this wasn't drama for clicks. This was someone's real life unraveling in real time. Trust destroyed. Dignity stripped away. A woman's name dragged across timelines while millions looked on. And Papoose? His reaction wasn't accountability. It was diversion. Pointing fingers at Remy, accusing her of cheating, uploading images of her with other men, flipping the fallout into a competition over who betrayed who first. As if any of that erased years of secrecy, the alleged money games, the way he reportedly used Clarissa's loyalty as armor while living an entirely separate reality. But the money piece, that's where it cuts the deepest. Because this wasn't only emotional harm, it was power. Insiders claim Clarissa's finances didn't just support their relationship, they allegedly sustained his life with Remy Ma. Flights booked, gifts purchased, two parallel existences managed effortlessly. One woman believing she was building a future, unknowingly paying for the one replacing her. And here's the brutal truth he never planned to choose. Why would he? He allegedly had everything, a successful, high-profile girlfriend financing his world, and a wife on the verge of motherhood waiting quietly offstage. That kind of calculated selfishness doesn't just end relationships. It poisons belief itself, leaving destruction where love used to live.
I can't really put it together on what possibly could be the relationship there. But yeah, Remy outside the courtroom, standing on business, and she's there, she holding her son.
And now Claressa is left standing in the aftermath, trying to gather what's left of her life. Her most intimate pain dragged into the open, transformed into a public event. Every emotion analyzed, every post scrutinized, every crack in her armor judged by supporters, critics, and spectators who once celebrated her strength. The undefeated fighter who dominated every challenger in the ring is now facing something far more merciless. The court of public opinion. And this arena has no limits. No whistle to stop the blows when they cross the line. Just an endless loop of leaks, reactions, jokes, and viral moments where her suffering is recycled as content. Because that's the ugly truth about scandal. It has no loyalty. It spares no one. It feeds on damage. And right now, Clarissa's pain is the headline everyone can't stop watching.
She didn't say anything about it, but she hopped online to just apologize because it's her event. People pay money to see these rap battles and stuff like that. It's a real thing. The whole rap battle thing is like a real thing. So,
but here's what's being ignored far too often. Betrayal like this doesn't stop when the relationship ends. It stains everything it touches. Every memory becomes suspicious. Every picture feels staged. Every I love you echoes like a rehearsed line. Claressa didn't just lose a partner. She lost the future she believed she was building. Her confidence in her own instincts. Her faith that love could be secure. That loyalty meant protection, not punishment. Now she's left replaying moments, asking herself how she missed it. How she trusted so deeply. Because that's how men like Papoose operate. They don't only step out. They rewrite your reality. They twist perception until you doubt yourself more than them. They turn devotion into a trap. And by the time clarity arrives, the damage is already done. And the world? We're not innocent observers. We're part of it. Every tap, every repost, every Claressa deserved better comment feeds the system. A system that converts private devastation into public spectacle. A system that denies healing and rewards exposure. Because in 2026, heartbreak isn't just lived, it's monetized. And Claressa's is the kind that spreads. The kind that trends. The kind that keeps people refreshing, waiting for the next reveal, the next message, the next fragment of her life to be put on display. It's cruel. It's nonstop. And it's nowhere near finished.
Police are still investigating the motive behind the shooting, though it was initially believed that a dispute may have led to the violence.
But here's what's being ignored far too often. Betrayal like this doesn't stop when the relationship ends. It stains everything it touches. Every memory becomes suspicious. Every picture feels staged. Every I love you echoes like a rehearsed line. Claressa didn't just lose a partner. She lost the future she believed she was building. Her confidence in her own instincts. Her faith that love could be secure. That loyalty meant protection, not punishment. Now she's left replaying moments, asking herself how she missed it. How she trusted so deeply. Because that's how men like Papoose operate. They don't only step out. They rewrite your reality. They twist perception until you doubt yourself more than them. They turn devotion into a trap. And by the time clarity arrives, the damage is already done. And the world? We're not innocent observers. We're part of it. Every tap, every repost, every Claressa deserved better comment feeds the system. A system that converts private devastation into public spectacle. A system that denies healing and rewards exposure. Because in 2026, heartbreak isn't just lived, it's monetized. And Claressa's is the kind that spreads. The kind that trends. The kind that keeps people refreshing, waiting for the next reveal, the next message, the next fragment of her life to be put on display. It's cruel, it's nonstop, and it's nowhere near finished.
Well, this actually happened outside of the courthouse. Remy Ma got into a courthouse altercation with the daughter of the man her son allegedly.
Because scandals like this don't fade out, they mutate. And right now, this story is tipping into something far more unsettling. The money trail is still incomplete. The legal fallout hasn't even surfaced. And Papoose? He's not built to disappear quietly. He's the kind who pushes back, who reframes the story, who tries to flip the script until she's cast as the problem in a narrative he controlled from the start. And Remy Ma, she's not just reacting from emotion. She's calculated. She understands optics. She understands timing. She's played this game before. She's endured incarceration, relentless judgment, and a spotlight ruthless enough to destroy most people. She didn't survive all that to step aside now. Not when there's still leverage. Not when the tension is peaking. And then there's the child. The unborn baby that permanently binds Papoose to Remy in a way no apology can erase. A family forming as Claressa is forced to reconstruct her life from the wreckage of deception. That's the twist that lingers. Because it doesn't just wound, it follows you. No matter how this ends, that child becomes a constant reminder. Proof of the choice he made. Evidence of the future he was creating while she was still believing in the one they promised each other.
Jason is only 23 years old, and Remy spoke to TMZ about the situation, and she said, "We stand by Jason's innocence and pray that NYPD will conduct a contempt and thorough investigation."
So, where does that put Claressa now? Right in the center of the chaos. The leaks haven't slowed. The comments haven't stopped. Eyes are still locked on her, studying every move, waiting to see how she responds, how she endures, how she survives the wreckage of a relationship that was never what it claimed to be. And it raises an uncomfortable question: what hurts more? The betrayal itself, or being forced to experience it again and again through headlines, memes, and loud opinions from people who've never known this kind of devastation. But here's what can't be ignored. Claressa Shields is a fighter. She didn't earn her titles by folding under pressure. And if this saga has revealed anything, it's that she's been misjudged before. By Papoose. By Remy Ma. By an audience too quick to assume her breaking point. History has a pattern though. Underestimating Claressa never ends well. Because when she rises, and she will rise, it won't be in despair. It'll be strategic. Calculated. And there's nothing more dangerous than someone who's been betrayed publicly, stripped of illusions, and pushed to the edge with absolutely nothing left to protect.
Jason is only 23 years old, and Remy spoke to TMZ about the situation, and she said, "We stand by Jason's innocence and pray that NYPD will conduct a contempt and thorough investigation."
And Papoose should be scared. Because the Claressa Shields we're about to witness isn't the woman who believed him. She's the woman who learned from him. The woman who was forced to stare into the darkest corners of love and loyalty and come out the other side stronger. The woman who now understands that the same discipline that made her a champion in the ring is the same discipline that will carry her through this storm. And when she does rise, it won't be quiet. It won't be graceful. It will be unforgettable. But we're rushing ahead because the story is still being written. The leaks keep coming. The world keeps watching. And Claressa is still standing among the wreckage of a relationship that was never real, trying to figure out how to rebuild a life from the ashes. And the craziest part? We're all still here, waiting, watching, hungry for the next chapter in a scandal that has changed the definition of being blindsided. Because this isn't just a breakup, it's a reckoning. And it's only getting started.
It doesn't matter if it's a celebrity or not. Exactly. If you commit a crime, you're supposed to be paid for the crime you committed.
It could be anybody. It doesn't matter. You know.
And just when it seemed like the storm had reached its darkest point, the whispers began to shift into something far more chilling. Because this wasn't simply a story about one man living a double life. It was about a pattern, a playbook, a method of operation that people close to the situation now say they recognized long before the world ever did. The red flags weren't hidden. They were waving in the wind, dismissed, rationalized, or rewritten into something normal. Because love makes us blind to what we refuse to see. But 50 Cent? He saw it. And he wasn't about to let anyone forget. His reactions weren't just adding fuel to the fire. He was pouring gasoline on the whole scene and stepping back to watch it explode. What did you think was going to happen? That was the energy. Like he'd been waiting for this exact moment. Like he already knew Papoose's charm was a mask for something far colder and more intentional. And the way he mocked Claressa's devotion wasn't just trolling. It was a signal. A reminder that in this world, trust isn't a given, it's a risk. And the consequences? They're never just personal. They become public.
I told y'all that Remy Ma and Papoose are done.
But here's where the story takes an even sharper turn. While everyone was locked onto the love triangle, the messages, the pregnancy, other names began to surface. Other women, other ties. The kind of rumors that don't hint at a one-time mistake, but point to a system. A pattern of behavior that allegedly involved more than just Remy Ma and Claressa. People close to the situation say Papoose's opportunism wasn't limited to a single relationship. It was a lifestyle. A revolving door of connections, each one serving a purpose, each one kept separated just enough to avoid suspicion. And the financial side? That's where it gets even darker. Because if the rumors hold any truth, Claressa wasn't the only one whose resources were allegedly redirected. There were claims, unverified but persistent, that this wasn't about love at all. It was about access, about maintaining an image, a status, a lifestyle that demanded more than one woman's money to keep afloat.
Very sad, regardless. I mean, this happened in 2021. So that was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
So the fact that they just getting the information now is crazy, but...
And then there's the cultural chaos surrounding all of it. Because in 2026, a scandal like this doesn't just live in magazines, it unfolds in real time, on feeds, in comment threads, in viral breakdowns that turn someone's private devastation into a public show. Every post Claressa shares is picked apart. Every silence is interpreted. Every tear is either real or fake, depending on who's watching. The court of public opinion doesn't judge, it devours. Claressa's heartbreak served up with a side of mockery and cruelty. Because let's be honest, there's a portion of the audience that isn't just observing. They're entertained. The memes. The hot takes. The way her pain has been repackaged as content. It's savage. It's unending. And it's the price of fame in a world where privacy is a fantasy and every moment is monetized. But here's what we're not discussing enough. This kind of exposure doesn't just wound. It changes you. Claressa didn't just lose a partner. She lost the version of herself that believed in the story she was selling. The version that believed love could conquer everything. That loyalty was more than a word. That the man you stand beside publicly is the same man you trust privately. And now she's left rebuilding not just her life, but her identity. Because when the world witnesses you being blindsided, when they dissect your every reaction, when they turn your grief into a trending topic, you don't simply move on. You either evolve or you break. And right now, the verdict is still out on which direction she'll go.
That's all we know. So that's what we believe. All relationships fail. And I don't believe it. Because I know some people been together 50 years, 60.
And then there's the money. Oh, the money. Because if the rumors are even halfway accurate, this wasn't just emotional betrayal. It was financial manipulation. The kind of alleged money rerouting that doesn't just damage a relationship, it destroys it. Sources claim that while Claressa was building her brand, her career, her legacy, her funds were quietly being used to bankroll a life she wasn't even included in, trips she never took, gifts she never received, bills paid in her name for a reality that wasn't hers to live. That's the kind of betrayal that doesn't just hurt, it cripples. Because it isn't only about the numbers. It's about what those numbers represent. The fact that trust didn't just break, it was turned into profit. And in a world where Claressa's worth is tied to her name, her reputation, and her ability to control her own story, that's a blow that doesn't heal quickly. It takes years. Maybe it never fully goes away.
So that went on for like a couple of months, and then he just told me one day that he loved me, couldn't live without me, and we've been together ever since.
But we can't ignore the other players in this story, because Remy Ma isn't just a betrayed wife. She's a strategist. And if there's one thing we know about her, it's that she doesn't lose, at least not in the long run. The way she's handled this, the way she's controlled the narrative, the way she's turned Claressa's pain into her own power move, this isn't survival. This is a masterclass in leverage. And Papoose? He's not just a cheater. He's a man who allegedly built his life on the belief that he could have it all: love, money, fame, control, without ever having to choose. Without ever having to face the consequences. But here's the thing about consequences. They're patient. And they're coming. Then there's the child, the unborn baby that ties Papoose to Remy Ma in a way that can't be undone. A family he's allegedly building while Claressa is forced to rebuild her life from the ashes of his lies. That's the kind of twist that doesn't just hurt, it haunts. Because no matter what happens next, that child is a living, breathing reminder of the betrayal. Proof of the life he chose over hers, the future he was constructing while she still believed in theirs. And the wild part? The world is still watching. Still waiting. Still ready to pounce on the next leak, the next screenshot, the next piece of proof that confirms what people are already starting to suspect, that this story is bigger than we thought. That the deception runs deeper. That the real truth hasn't even dropped yet.
I don't know what really gets on my nerves, that grinds my gears. Grinds them so bad. Is that when y'all think I give.
But here's what we know about Claressa Shields. She's a fighter. And fighters don't stay down. They get back up. And when they rise, it's not with tears, it's with a strategy. So while the world is busy dissecting her heartbreak, while the memes are still fresh and the hot takes are still trending, she's quietly rebuilding, recalibrating, refocusing. And if there's one thing more dangerous than a woman scorned, it's a woman who's been forced to see the truth, pushed to the edge, and realized she's stronger than the storm. Because when Claressa comes back, and she will come back, it won't be as the victim. It will be as the woman who survived the ultimate betrayal and emerged not just intact, but unstoppable. And that's when the real story begins. Because right now, we're only watching the opening act. The leaks are still dropping. The players are still moving. And the truth? It's still waiting to explode like a bomb. So tell us, do you think Claressa's heartbreak is the end of her story, or just the start of something even wilder? Drop your thoughts below, because this is far from over. Stay fierce. Stay curious. And remember, when the world tries to break you, sometimes the best revenge is coming back stronger than anyone expected. Until next time.